Well, hello and welcome to our devotional time. We are continuing our adventure with Abram and Lot, and we're going to continue to explore what was it that caused Abram and Lot to have to separate, to part ways. And I'm going to look at it from God's perspective, at least here first, and think about this. We get some hints of who Lot is, some of the hiddenness that's in his heart by just a few phrases that are mentioned in chapter 13 of Genesis, where Lot enjoyed Egypt. He liked the land. He liked the fruits of the land there. And then as the herdsmen fight, he looks towards Sodom and Gomorrah and he sees the lush and fruitful land there, and he thinks that's the place for me. And so Lot, why did they need to separate? I think because God didn't want Lot anywhere near the seed that he was planting in Sarah and Abram with the son Isaac. He's a part of the promise for the world to bring about Jesus. And so Lot didn't need to be anywhere around him. You think about this. Lot is a man who consciously chose to move to Sodom and Gomorrah with his family. Um, he was fine with living the lifestyle that really was in opposition to the way God says, invites us to live life. And his wife really wasn't much better. She had a fatalistic attraction to Sodom as well. And so, to the point we'll read later on where she looks back at Sodom and turns to a pillar of salt. And so I could see God saying, I don't want these people to have any access, any influence on Abram's child. Um, and if you want to see how confused, how dangerous these people could be to the family, just turn over to Genesis 19 and read a little bit, and you can see that. Lot ended up offering his own daughters to the perverted men of Sodom, saying in 19:8, verse 8, you can do what you like with them. If Lot is willing to surrender his own daughters to this perverse world in which he chose to live, what in the world do you think would happen if he had any kind of influence on his cousin? Uh, and and again, if you want to look at Lot's wife's priorities, um, just continue reading chapter 19, verses 16 and 26. We see a bit of her characteristic popping out there. These two were they may have looked good on the outside, but they were dangerous people. And I don't think that they would have the welfare of the children in their mind. They concealed in their hearts an attitude that would be dangerous. And actually, if you look in the Strong's Concordance, if you have one of those with you, Lot's name is in there, and it's in the Old Testament section, 3876. And you see the meaning of Lot's name is veiled, cover, hidden. And so we get this sense that there's this secret veil over Lot that's false, and hiding the attachments that Lot has that aren't of God. Lot wanted his own life. He didn't. It appears he didn't want to commit to the Lord. He didn't want to walk an intimate walk like Abraham was starting to do here. Obviously, Abram wasn't perfect. We saw that in our previous studies. But he was moving towards God. And I think as Lot was looking at this, he's saying, I don't want to go that way. And after his wonderful time in Egypt, to him, he saw all the wealth and the beauty and the everything you could want being provided in Egypt. And then going back up to the promised land and stopping right before they go in, the herdsmen come out and begin their struggle, their fussing. But it's really It doesn't begin there. It's already happened. Lot, there's something been stirring in Lot before then. He's seeing where Abram's heading towards this. Maybe he called it a religious lifestyle that was just too much for him. It just seemed too strange, this personal relationship with God. And Lot relished the idea of having his own way, and he looked at the fruit of the plain of the Jordan, and and when he's confronted with Abram, saying, you choose where to go, and I'll go the opposite way, um, Lot was like, fine, you head towards the desert all you want. I'm going to this good life that looks like to me. And Lot and his wife and his daughters laughed all the way to Sodom and Gomorrah as he looked back and he watched Abram head off towards the desert. And I want to note here that that well, I don't want us to misunderstand or have this idea that Lot was rejected by God. Now, his choices certainly were rejected by God, but the Lord would not reject Lot if he would choose to walk in his ways. Um, they both Abram and Lot determined what was best for them and chose that. And so what I'm saying is that Lot chose to walk away from the promises of God. He chose to a different lifestyle than what God was offering. And so I don't want us to pity Lot in a sense that he was rejected by God. Now certainly we can pity Lot with his choices, but don't consider for a second that he's a victim of anything by the Lord or Abram. He chose these things. He is the one who made the bad choices. And if you think about it, that's us too. There are times that we make bad choices in our life, and there are consequences to that. And maybe I can leave you with that today, and encourage you to pray this week as you think about that. God, I'm aware of some bad choices I've made, and I don't like the consequences that I'm dealing with now. And we call out and we ask Him to help us and to restore us to this onto the path that He has chosen for us. That we say, God, I see now. I've come to my senses, and I want to walk on that path. And I know it may be hard, and maybe we'll get some ideas from Abram as he considers or continues his journey. But in the end, it's just you can't get any better than walking with God. Well, I hope you have a good week. Hope to see you Wednesday with our Bible study, and I pray God's peace be with you as you walk with Him. Bye now.